So it looks like Game Pass might have actually helped Microsoft take some exclusives away from Sony and bring these games that we've never seen to their platform. And I want to talk about it. But before we get on the video, definitely hit that like button if you guys enjoyed the video. You can always subscribe to the channel for weekly content. And don't forget to go over there on Twitter and follow me at Lord Addict IOP. Without any further ado, let's talk about this. What's going on, you guys? Gamepass here, coming at you with another video. If you have been following this channel for a while, you know I'm a huge fan of a lot of different types of JRPGs. And one of the key things on Microsoft is sometimes it's kind of sketchy when we will get them, if we get them at all. What I mean by that is games like Yakuza, games like Persona, games like Dragon Quest. We didn't really see these franchises come on the Xbox platform until this generation, and the end of last generation. Microsoft went to these developers, these publishers, says, look, we want your games on our platform. We value your games enough to come to you and offer you money to help put them on our platform. And not only are we going to help you put them on our platform, we want to go ahead and make sure that your stuff goes in Game Pass, because we know that a lot of our consumer base, a lot of the gamers that follow the Xbox brand might not necessarily know what these type of games are, because let's be real, they haven't been on our platform that much. So we got games like Kingdom Hearts, games like Dragon Quest 11. A lot of the Yakuzas have come to Game Pass. But one of the biggest questions that a lot of gamers and a lot of, content creators such as myself had is, look, it's all okay when you put these in a subscription service and anyone that has that service on Xbox can play these games, but what's going to happen if a new iteration of this franchise comes out and it's not in Game Pass day one? Is the Xbox crowd going to gravitate towards it, and are they going to support the franchise in general? It looks like one of the first things we can really gravitate towards and find out whether or not these games are going to sell on an Xbox platform that is not in Game Pass is the fact that Yakuza 7 seems to be the most successful title in the franchise worldwide. Now let's talk about this a little bit. This is the way I feel like this happened. Now, completely subjective. This is just me reading the situation. You guys can definitely put in the comment section below if you feel like I'm reaching, but I don't feel like I'm reaching. Let's go over this. There was an actual interview with one of the people from Sega, and they asked him, I think the outlet was Famitsu. I definitely butchered that. It's one of the biggest outlets over there in Japan, and he brought up the fact that Yakuza 7 was the most successful title in the franchise. Now, there is multiple reasons that I'm not going to sit here and try to lie to you guys and try to paint some narrative that this is 100% the reason, that Game Pass is 100% the reason that Yakuza 7 was the most successful one in the franchise, because that's not true. But I do feel like there are a couple scenarios, and I do kind of feel like Game Pass is one of them. First thing we want to talk about is the fact that Yakuza 7, like a Dragon, was a different type of gameplay. It was a turn-based game. All the other ones have not been turn-based, and this is the first one that's been turn-based. So that's kind of a double-edged sword. You have an access to a huge demographic that likes turn-based games and might not necessarily have liked the gameplay that they played on Yakuza, and since this is a different type of game, they're willing to try it because it's turn-based. And then you got the other side of the blade that says, look, all the hardcore Yakuza fans, I supported the gameplay up until now, and I'm not feeling the way that you turned something that I loved and you rapidly, dramatically changed the gameplay, so I don't think I'm gonna buy it. Now, I want to point out that one of the potential reasons that I do feel like that this franchise particularly has really benefited from being on Game Pass, and it's resulted to more sales on the Xbox brand, is how extra and how much of aggressiveness that Microsoft went into getting the Yakuza games in Game Pass. It's like I said, these are two different gameplays and they can appeal to two different types of gamers. But at the end of the day, when you have a huge demographic of people that had just got access to these Yakuza games from Game Pass, they're looking for the next one, and they so happen to see, yo, this is turn-based. I love turn-based games. And a lot of these Xbox gamers didn't have access to Yakuza, so they didn't really get a huge amount of attachment to the gameplay Yakuza has had up till now. So when you open a market to a game that they haven't played ever, and the franchise that's never been on their platform, and you give it to them in a subscription service like Game Pass, and is able to invite as many people as fans to this franchise, and then you have a game like Yakuza 7 comes out. I have a feeling there's a lot of people in Game Pass picked up Like a Dragon just because they liked what they played and they liked the environment that was in Game Pass with the Yakuza games. And then when they saw the difference in gameplay, let's be real, it's like I said, they haven't been playing these games that long. A lot of the people like Yakuza for the immersion that the game has, and I think that's the thing that they brought the most to Like a Dragon. So a lot of these Xbox gamers was willing to go out and spend the money on this platform. Now, let's talk about another statement that he made. He said, globally, they want to expand Atlas games by releasing them simultaneously worldwide and possibly on multiple platforms. That is one of the biggest things that I do feel like Game Pass had a lot to do with this. And I feel like Xbox being part of the scenario with Yakuza Like a Dragon was one of the reasons that it was the most sold game in their franchise. Because let's be real, you open it up to more people, you have more potential buyers. But now you gave a good access point to this new market with Game Pass and with these Yakuza games that when this game came out, they gravitated towards it. And the fact that he came out in this interview and said that we want to release this simultaneously worldwide and possibly on multiple platforms, and I want to highlight the multiple platforms part. He brought that up specifically. So clearly that is one of the reasons that these games are selling more than they would have on the PlayStation platform. So the fact that they want to bring Atlas games, and Atlas is probably their biggest studio that they currently own, that is probably making them the most money. They want to bring those games to other platforms, and they want a worldwide simultaneously release. Really makes me feel like Game Pass is resulting in more sales on the Xbox platform, and I think that's always a good thing. Sega has been one of the key components to Game Pass. They've put all the Yakuza games in there. They have a lot of their games in Game Pass, so clearly it's working out for them. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see an announcement for Persona 5 Royale coming into Game Pass in the next 6 months. And then who knows, maybe when the next Persona comes out, it comes out into Xbox day one, probably not Game Pass, but it will be on the Xbox platform. And I think that is more important than anything. When you don't have a game, but your competition does, and they are able to use that as a default exclusive, it's a problem. And Microsoft seems to be really taking that seriously, and they're trying to eliminate these default exclusives that Sony's always got. And I'm really thinking Game Pass has a lot to do with that. They're able to leverage this consumer base and pay this money to get these people into this game, show interest in these franchises, and then when their newer games come out, I do feel like it leads to better results in sales. And that's just me. But anyway, tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think this means anything? Do you think he's just speaking out of terms that he doesn't necessarily mean Xbox? Clearly there's the Switch out there, there's Stadia, there's a lot of different scenarios that he could be talking about. But I'm curious, what is your guys' opinion? Put it in the comment section below. I want to know. And this is Gaming Addicts. Until next time, I'm out of here. Peace.